Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is a Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Titan class Autobot Ark. You can see the package right there because, well, not both in the same frame because, oh god, no, they're too big. But you can see there, yes, it is a very nice bit of artwork with, I guess, the Ark there holding onto Megatron. You got the Transformers logo, 15 plus, interestingly enough. Hasbro, Generations, Takara, all that stuff, the Autobot Ark there, crashed in the mountain. On the top, you have the good old Autobot symbol there, Air Razor, the Nemesis, Black Arachnia, Starscream all falling apart. On the side, let's see if I can. On this side, you got, well, more of the artwork, I guess, the last bit, and of course, Titan class right there. Titan class right there. On this side, you have, well, the good old line white artwork. The usual. As it stands. At the bottom we have pretty much nothing except copyrights and warnings, you know, that sort of thing. On the back here you got, of course, the product shots, including the Ark himself, Mainframe, some accessories, and so on and so forth. And that's the box. Including, of course, is the instructions. Which, pretty decent. I mean, considering the Ark itself is actually not that complicated. It's actually pretty simple. And, well, of course, the collector's card, which, the usual there. And this one's Dinobot. And underneath is the, I guess, yeah, Dinobot still kind of running away with Maximals or whatever. So there you go. Now, well, for the Ark itself. The Ark itself right here. And you can see it's pretty big. It's a pretty big dude. Yeah, the Ark, you can see, well, it's it's the Autobot Ark. It's very similar to the G1 versions. You know, some little minor things here and there, but yeah, it's pretty similar. You've got some, you can see it's pretty much orange with some bits of yellow and blue. You got some scorching kind of right there from, I guess, planetary entry. You got big old Autobot symbols right there. You got these little gun placements. These don't turn or anything. They're just kind of there. You got some bit of gray. You got all that stuff. You got some thrusters here on the back. You all picked out in some very kind of this blue color. And on the bottom, you can see, like, well, these are some landing gear. There's 3 of them, and some silver, and, well, some of the robot right there. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a pretty good sized thing, I should say. You can probably see, though, one big problem right there is this right here. That part, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a common problem with the Autobot Ark, which is this doesn't, like some people's, including mine, this does not stay tabbed together. You can see there's a big old gap there. Yeah, there's a big old gap here, and for whatever reason, the Ark here doesn't like to actually stay tabbed together. I can't figure out why. A lot of people can't figure out why. It just, the best guess I saw, which is basically the leg ratchets are done in such a way that it doesn't quite, they don't 100% line up. You know, the ratchets were done in such a way they don't 100% line up. So what happens is they're just off enough. So when you try to bring it all together, it just kind of does this. And as long as I've gotten it to tab together a little bit, but honestly, it doesn't take much. I'll let go, and yeah, you see tabs, but yep, pops itself apart. The longest I've gotten to go is like, I think 15 seconds or so, something like that, which sucks. So there's that. Another thing, but which sucks because this is for a lot of people. I think this is kind of the mode they're buying it for, is this, the Ark. And so for a lot of us to just not tab together for whatever reason, it's really frustrating. And I can't figure out what the problem is. And multiple people have offered up solutions. I've tried everything. I've tried to rearrange the back end. I've tried adjusting this stuff. As far as I can tell, part of the problem is these little tabs right here kind of cause it to not quite 100% sit correctly. And it's not supposed to do that. So yeah, it doesn't quite work, and I can't. It's really frustrating. It really sucks. This is kind of was for me, yeah, the mode I wanted to buy it for. You also got this weird little bridge here, which is weird because you also got this big bridge. It's kind of weird. There's 2 different sized bridges here. Yeah. But that's the thing. Also, mine has a couple little paint scuffs. You can see right there, like a bit of excess black paint and some little just spot of black paint or something. No, actually, that's just coming off. I don't know what that is. Man, I got a little bit of a paint issue right there. It's not a small one, big deal, but yeah, it isn't there. The other thing is these parts right here. You can see, yeah, the leg just kind of chilling out there. And yeah, these parts on the side here, these actually, this bit right here is actually clips on. This is not installed in the box. I'm trying to see if I can pull it off. I'm not sure if it can be pulled off. I'm not sure if I should try or not, but yeah. Yeah, this triangle wedge, there's 2 of them. There's kind of, you have to plug it on yourself, but it's not too difficult. Talking about some accessories, at least. Comes with, well, a set of blast effects. Essentially these. Very similar to the ones we've seen before. Kind of in both bluish greenish color. On mine, there's some weird stuff on it. I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's just weird stuff on mine. Yeah, I got these typical blast force. Should be 4 of them, honestly, because, well, there's 4 thrusters. It kind of cheaped out on this. But yeah, they can plug into the back here if you want. Again, weird stuff on mine. I don't know what that is. Yeah, but yeah, you can do that, which there's 4 of them, so at least, you know, that whole thing. And also back here, there's a little thing, which, yeah, you'll see that this thing doesn't like to stay together too well either. Press this little lever and little ramp pops down. There's not really much in there. There's a little tiny space, but really can't really put anything there. But it's kind of there, I guess, for the play pattern, if you like. And just, I guess, for the sake of size ideas, core Optimus, which is kind of somewhat sort of the scale they're kind of going with this guy, although mostly in Robot Move. We'll get to that. So yeah, that's the thing. So unfortunately, yeah, the Ark doesn't stay together super well in the alt mode, which is kind of a disappointment considering the alt mode is probably a big selling point for a lot of people. Just, you know, having an Autobot Ark for the first time. I think this is the first time we've ever had an official Ark release of any sort, period. At least full size like this. But there's one other thing here. If you, well, you can see the head there. And let's see, clip this stuff and open that up. Yeah, there's a, let's see if I can get this. There's a bridge in here. This is the bridge right here. You can see this. I think it's supposed to be like a navigation globe or something right there. You can see a whole bunch of little stations and little terminals and stuff. You can move this if you want. It just pegs in. Thankfully, it pegs in pretty solid, so you don't have to worry about it popping out. Panel with a little tiny figure, which comes. He comes with one, which is this itty bitty little Optimus. You can just plug in to any of these little slots. And yeah, these are the same. This is the same sort of one that came with Unicron, the Galvatron, and Rodimus that came with this, and that's going to come with the upcoming Behold Galvatron set. So this little thing got a whole bunch of little slots there, and yep, that's the thing. That just painted red. Did I even put it in front? Yes, I did. It's tiny, so I'm a little afraid, but yeah, it can go with your Unicron stand and all that stuff. Other thing is this is also, well, removable. Because, well, that's a whole separate robot, as you might have seen on the packaging. Put that up to the side for now, because we're going to look at, well, Mainframe here. Now, Mainframe is kind of one of those deep pulls in the sense that, like, Mainframe was an action master back in the day that didn't have an alt mode of any sort. And now he's, well, been recolored, and now he's included with the Autobot Ark, which is heavily based on the last Autobot from the Marvel comic. So yeah, lots of deep pulls with the guy. Yeah, he forms the bridge for the Ark, and well, it's kind of a box here, but also he can transform. Surprise, surprise. We're going to focus on this guy. But yeah, this bridge, you can see, yeah, it's just, there's not a whole lot in this mode other than that. It's just a block of stuff, and you can see one thing, which we'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, transforming, let's see, which one should I put him in first? Let's go with his second alt mode. Yeah, to transform that, you want to go ahead and untab the legs here. You want to untab those from this stuff right here and bring them down. Go ahead and separate them for a bit, because you need to do that to be able to get all this stuff taken care of. These panels you got to pull away. There's several panels kind of accordioned up here. You want to pull them away from this, and be careful. This that has a tendency to pop this thing off, and you want to pull that away, bring that out, and take the foot and rotate it like that. And that's, you want to set the panel out like this. The panels are out like that. Same thing on this side. Just go ahead and bring them out like that. See, this one is fine. This one has a tendency to catch. I don't know why. And rotate the foot 90 degrees so it's sitting like that. Go ahead and bring them back together. Makes it a little easier. And then right here, this will kind of go over these tab things right here. Like that. At that point, you could kind of keep it standing like this. And then you go ahead and unfold this right here. Bring that back. Take this and unfold that right here. Again, I'll get to the accessories in a bit. You can go ahead and bring these panels, take these panels and bring them up. Bring them up like this. And you want to bring this over the tab somewhat. A little tricky. There you go. You bring that over the tab, and bring it underneath, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. Same with this side. Bring this panel up. Bring it over that tab and like that, so it looks setting like that. Then the arms here, what you want to do is you bring them out. Rotate that right here like this. You open that up and rotate this forward so that this can line up. So there's a tab here and a tab here. You want to kind of bring it in like that. Bring it over this tab like so. That. Same thing on this side. Rotate it in such a way that, yeah, that's a problem too. Rotate it up. Bring it up. Bring this around. So, and tab this in. Sometimes a little stubborn. Stab it in like that. There we go. And there you go. You got Teletran 1. Yeah, Teletran 1, which is kind of a cool thing right there. Just, it's Teletran 1. I mean, the computer from the original show, the one that was always, telling them all their stuff that's going on and defending the base and all sorts of stuff. You got nice little bits of these screens here with all these details. Here's the Ark and a map of the globe and matrix and vector sigma and a whole bunch of just dials and bars and whatever. You got this console molded in no detail really picked on paint, but there's got plenty of molding there, including little keypads and stuff. That's pretty cool. The only thing is, yeah, once you get to the side, oh boy, yep. Kind of just falls apart real quick if you look at it from the side. This is one of those things you kind of want on your display, just kind of up against a wall or something, so you don't really see that part. So that's a thing. Yeah, the accessories back here, you can see right here. This accessory is the thing from the first episode. I don't remember what it was called. What was it? The Scout? Was it Scout? Scout? Drone? Scout? I don't know. But, get this off the peg. Yeah, it's from the first episode. It's the thing that scanned all the stuff for them to transform with. It's, kind of hollow ones. But yeah, you get the whole, it's going out, going explore, and that sort of thing. It's got the little fins and the antenna and the little ball. Yeah, it just kind of just stores right here. So it's pretty neat, That's there. And you got these, which this is pretty cool as well, because these are, in fact, the golden discs from Beast Wars. You get this one, which is the Sound of Earth. It's got the Sound of Earth thing. It's the vinyl record on the side. You got backside. You got the stuff that's on the Sound of Earth record, and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So you got all that stuff, which is really neat. Sound of Earth. Thing is, he also got the Vox version right here. With all this crazy symbols. Weird thing is, it's also got the Sound of Earth. They just kind of whoops. Yeah, this side should be just blank, but not the end of the world, but still a little weird that they kind of messed up like that. So yeah, these just kind of store back here. This little thing. It's weird that they store pretty well. It's just they can also come out pretty easily if you hit it wrong. So that's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, it's pretty neat to get a Teletran 1, you know, that's really cool. I just think this, honestly, and spoiler alert, I think this is probably the most interesting part of the arc, so to speak. Yeah, he's also, of course, got one more mode, which is, well, mainframe. And to do that, again, well, untab this, and untab that from there, untab. Okay, this is a little stubborn. Untab that right there, like that. And then go ahead and, you know, take the fists and bring them out here. And you can close this up. Bring it down. Take out the fist. Close it up. Bring it down. Then here you want to go ahead and take these panels and, well, fold them back down like that. Untab them, fold them back down. Fold these back up like this. And go ahead and untab the legs and extend them out all the way. Untab them from each other and collapse, and then rotate this forward and then collapse it back down. Like so. Like that. Rotate this forward. You want to do the foot before the collapsing of the panels, otherwise things get caught weird. Go ahead and rotate this at the waist, 180, like so. This whole bit, you want to take this part and it's on a double hinge. You want to bring this down and take the head, bring it up. Yeah, the head's in here, so you go ahead and get in there and bring that up. Rotate the head around, bring this down, and make sure this is all folded up away. Bring this down, this becomes a backpack, and that's all there. And there you go. That's Mainframe's robot mode. Which, yeah, it's, from what I've seen of the mainframe, I don't have a mainframe. It's an Action Master. I don't have any Action Masters. So I've seen, sculpting wise, he's actually pretty close. Paint, you know, colors pretty different. Mainframe had a very distinct color scheme, but yeah, you can see, you know, a lot of the detail there. He's got a big old orange, like yellowish visor, and that is light piping right there. This big old thing, like it's a big old, this is not a big old thing, maybe like this little thing of light piping. Got the, I guess, gray mouthpiece. You got some silver Autobot symbol, this yellow circle there. Bits of detailing there, but mostly just gray and orange, with some bits from like Teletran 1 or whatever, and that. So that's a thing. It's deluxe Voyager-esque class. It's kind of in this weird thing. Kind of a weird thing. He's also got this stuff just kind of chilling. He's got a very significant backpack. It's kind of just hanging out, and it is kind of in the way a little bit, particularly some of this stuff like this. The arm panels, you can see, just kind of, yeah, his arms sit weird because of the arm panels, and it's kind of weird. It's like, yeah, you can't have him really quite out of his side without stuff transforming or whatever. That's the thing, fortunately. Now, posability. This is actually just a peg, so it just swivels around 180. There's no ball joint there, but it's a little wobbly. Shoulders got forward and stuff. All the back is kind of limited because of the backpack. Outward is there. Got a bicep swivel when this is a problem on mine, where the biceps have a tendency to just work themselves out of the socket really easily. It does not take a lot of effort. You can feel them thump into place, but you know, you do this enough and twist them around enough, and they'll just work itself out. So that kind of sucks on both arms. So it's I think it's a sculpting problem. You got an elbow which bends about 90 degrees. Does not have a wrist swivel. His wrist can kind of go down a little bit. I guess he ever gets a sword of any sort. He has no weapons though. Waist does technically swivel, although you got, well, thanks to the backpack, about that much, which isn't a whole lot. Yeah, that much range, or essentially. It's not really a whole lot. Hips though, you got forward. Again, back is limited by the backpack, so you got about that far back. You got outward, really far, like really far. You got a thigh swivel, knees about 90 degrees, and feet. Well, got a little bit of swiveling because of that. But this kind of can bang into this after a while, which is fine because it's not that much before, you know, it actually looks somewhat natural. And you got angle tilt, which goes about 90 degrees. And there you go. That's the articulation. That's mainframe. pretty decent in his own right. Just as a robot, it's kind of his big attraction is very much the Teletran 1 thing. That's the big deal about him. I feel that's kind of where he'll probably spend his life, is as Teletran 1 in my collection. Just quick comparison. Here he's with Earthrise Optimus. You can see, yeah, he's very close. He's just a head shorter than Optimus, and yeah, so he's got like really simplistic transformation, but he's also kind of big. But he's an accessory with this guy. He's bigger than most Deluxes, but he's kind of the size of most Voyagers, really. But he's got like the engineering of a Deluxe. It's interesting. So it's interesting in its own right. So there's a thing you can do with Mainframe. Yeah, Mainframe here is pretty solid overall. And one other thing is, I would say that very much that Teletran 1 here is more or less regular, I guess, the WFC scale. I vaguely remember Prime having to kind of hunch over a bit, but it might be a bit on the smaller side. I don't know, depends. I can't remember, but then again, I remember Optimus hunching over Teletran 1 sometimes, but I also remember Teletran 1 being kind of big. It's one of the things where probably it's just G1 scale is weird, and the cartoon was badly made, and there you go. There's your scales to compare. But I don't know, I feel like it's the general normal Siege scale or War for Cybertron scale is pretty much where you want it to be, but it's not my collection. Your collection is not my collection, so I can't decide for you. Anyway, there's that. Moving on to, well, the big guy himself, the Autobot Ark, who that is just his name, the Autobot Ark. Transformation. Okay, so first things first, take this little flap right here, open that up and unpeg this and bring that down there and close that back up. Then up here at the front, you want to take this nose piece and untab it and bring it down like that. Then down here, this thing on this side, you want to untab that a bit, and you do the same thing on the other side as well. Untab that, and then that frees this up, so you can take this whole thing and bring that up like that. Okay, I'll go ahead and stand this up. And in the process, hopefully, take the landing gear then at this point, and then just kind of collapse it all up. Take the landing gear collapses up. You want to take this thing, bring it down, and there's tabs here, which these slots will correspond with. There's little tabs and slots you want to correspond with. Just want to give that a good press and then bring that down. Yeah. Here though, up here, take these things and close those up, and then close them into that right there. Take this piece, you want to go ahead and wrap this around and bring it up into the chest cavity like that. Then you take the arms here, take the arms and bring them out, bring them like that. Rotate them around, bring them up like that. Same thing. Bring it forward, bring it out, rotate it around at the shoulder, bring it out like that. And then you go ahead and take this thing, take the flap here, bring it down. And this stuff right here, these little things will slot into, there's little slots right here. Just slot right in. Over top of everything, and that should do. Now, down here you want to go ahead and kind of split the legs and bring them down. Like that. Yeah, then plug from that from there. Bring them down, straighten them out. Rotate them like this. So, then on the bottom here, you want to take the toes and bring them out, like so. Make sure they click into place. Up here, you want to go ahead and take this and rotate it 180, like that. Now over here, you want to go ahead and take this and uncurl that and bring it down. Rotate that around, and back here you want to take the hand and bring that out. And then rotate the wrist, like so. And do the same thing on this side. Bring that out and down. Bring down out the hand. Rotate this around so the elbow's facing forward. Rotate the hand. And there you go. There's the Ark in his robot mode. Yep. He's, once again, it's a big guy. It's the Ark, you know, it's just, you know, typical thing. Yep. Pretty big, you know, it's a Titan class, makes sense. But for me personally, this is kind of underwhelming. I don't know. Something about it is like, once you get here, it's like, oh, I guess, you know, that sort of thing. It's not bad. It's just kind of, I'm not feeling with the same kind of ooh like a lot of the Titan guys. But yeah, you can see, you know, against pretty much most of the same stuff that's in the mode, you know, the Ark mode and everything. You know, but all the, you know, I got this cool thing of like the thrusters are now the front of the shins, and so you got little gray toes, and yeah, but you got a little bit of silver on the hips and stuff, and some blue on the wrists. But yeah, mostly it's just the Ark. Another cool thing is the head is actually based on the Autobot symbol itself, somewhat. You can see with the eyebrows in particular. Also, yes, you can see very much the light piping. Very much so. It's actually, you know, right there. So yeah, quite a bit of light piping. That's very much a thing. It's very much a thing. Now, again, I'm just kind of not that enthused about him. It's just something about him just kind of very underwhelming, which is, you know, he's got a weird, he's very divisive in the fandom about that, because some people got get him and go, yeah, he's great, and other people are like, I don't know. It's just something about him just doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't push any real buttons of excitement. He's not exciting for me. It's just kind of interesting on that, I guess. But I guess good articulation. His head is on a swivel, including his kind of his neck is too. You got, you know, full rotation there. His arms, his shoulders, yeah. Yeah, quite the ratchet. That ratchet is, some people are scared of it because apparently some people have sheared theirs off. So that's the thing. Outward is, that's a thing. You can hear that ratchet. There's a ratchet there at the bicep swivel. Elbow's got more than 90 degrees and also ratcheted. Wrists. You got a swivel there. Fingers can move in and out. There's a thumb, which can move that way too. Fingers can curl that much. Thumb can move that much. I'm not really a fan of these hands, honestly, either. They look weird no matter what you do. You kind of have to do it like that, and that's pretty much all you got. The thumb can't bend or anything. It's kind of like, feels like they cheaped out on that. Waist, though. Ratcheted waist because of full 360 movement. Hips. Of course that's ratcheted. Got quite the range. If you move this a bit. Yeah, you got quite the range there. On the hips, that's far forward it gets. Got that far back. Outward that far. You got a ratcheted thigh swivel. Knees, well, can go and sink in pretty far because, well, how it transforms. Another thing I also wanted to mention, which is pretty cool, is actually the transformation. You see that. This, you can see that fills in. It's a really cool bit of engineering where it's like, you know, you pull the hand out and that slides out to fill in the gap. So that's pretty cool. That slides out to fill the gap. And also down here, again, there's another little gap filler thing when you bend the knee. It's kind of a cool little, just a nice little touch. I thought that was kind of neat. Down here at the feet, you got, well, that's your ankle tilt. As the entire sum of your ankle tilt is that little bit. There is nothing beyond that. I guess the toe can move down, but that doesn't really help you for anything really with this guy. Also, this thing keeps popping off. Yep, so... Yep, that's the Ark. Yeah, that's the Ark. Yeah, you can, I guess, still use these. I think there's pegs, or are there any other pegs beyond, yeah, these blast effects? I'm not sure if there's any other pegs beyond the thruster things. I don't see any on him. There's no melee. There's a couple. Like right there. Look at that, I guess. I guess here's core Optimus. Again, he's kind of supposed to scale with the core class, so it's kind of, it gives you an idea of, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, I guess. He's supposed to kind of scale there. I mean, considering the box art has him holding Megatron. But he all is with the Earthrise Prime as well, just to give you an idea. He comes just up to about his knees, because there's those knee guards. Yeah, there's that. And of course, here's a Mainframe. Just, yep. So, honestly, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know about this guy, honestly. It just, something about him just, I don't hate him. It's just kind of, for me, he's just kind of there. And that's not really good for a Titan class. The Titan class should really impress you. Like, it should, something about it should blow you away. Oh yeah, that one other thing, embarrassing, I almost forgot. Before I get into my little monologue thing. Scorponaut. Barely. There you go. Scorponaut. Scorponaut is bigger. I think Scorponaut is also a better Titan, period. Yeah. Honestly, he just is genuinely kind of underwhelming as a figure, and part of it is he is noticeably light and kind of hollow. You can see that in the chest here. There's a weird hollowness here, like just that's all there. There's like you can see right through him, like literally just see right through him. You can see right there. He's lighter than a lot of the Titan class guys, noticeably so. And I'm not sure if there's a budget. I'm pretty sure there's a budget thing and whatnot. He's shorter. He's lighter. His transformation is like these Titan class guys tend to not have very complicated transformations, but his transformation is incredibly simple. More so than I think any other Titan class, except maybe a Fortress Maximus. I'm not sure about that one. But he's just got a really simple transformation. Some people are going to enjoy that, but I'm personally just kind of bored with him. It's just one of those weird things. Like I don't. Again, he's not bad. He's just kind of boring. It's just not great. And I can possibly see why some people thought this might be the last Titan, but turns out we're probably going to get it. What was it? Energon Fortress Maximus? Was it Energon? Yeah. I want to say it was Energon. Yeah. And yeah, it's, I'm just not enthused by it. It's just, for me, the Teletran 1 thing is way more exciting than this guy, and that's kind of alarming. What essentially what is a accessory is more exciting than the main event, and that's kind of not good. And it just kind of a lot about just kind of rubs me, particularly since the Autobot Ark part, the part that I was more interested in, the spaceship. It doesn't tap in for me, and it doesn't tap in for a lot of people, and I can't figure out what the problem is, and I'm just sitting here just trying to figure it out. I spent a whole evening one night just trying to figure out what I could do to make that work, and it didn't work. On top of that, he's the most expensive. He's $170 at retail. I mean, some people like me were able to get him for like $155, $160, or something cheaper. But it's a lot to ask for $170. $170 for this guy. I don't think he's worth it. I mean, yeah, I don't barely think he's worth $150 or even that. I'm not sure. He's just not really particularly interesting, and it sucks. I'm just kind of down on him, honestly. He's just not that. He's got some impressive tricks. He's got some, he's got some impressive tricks, all that stuff, and that's it. Just I can't get excited about him, and that sucks. And I feel kind of in some ways I kind of wasted my money to the point of like I kind of almost want to just kind of bail out and just kind of sell and be done with it. But I also want to keep Mainframe because I want the Teletran 1 part, and I don't think people are going to buy it if they don't get the Teletran 1 part. I don't know. I'm personally just not a fan, and I kind of wish I was, but I'm just not. And it just, I would actually say skip him. He's not worth 170. If he starts going on steep discounts, like maybe 120 or less, maybe. If you really want an Ark, or if you get a good one that doesn't, have a difficulty tabbing in, maybe then sure. But as it stands, I don't think he's really worth the money, and he's just disappointing in too many ways. And yeah, I'm just not enthused about it, and I'm just disappointed that that's the case. I'm just not interested in him whatsoever. Not really. He's just kind of there, and I'm just gonna be sitting here trying to figure out where to put him, because I would love to have just played him in the alt mode, but not if he's gonna look like crap. I have to figure that one out. So yeah, I guess that's it for this review. Just disappointment. So kind of took me a while to get to this guy, but stuff happens. Anyway, I hope you found this informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. But check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. Check out my coffee and my Patreon. And I see you next time with another video review.